Welcome back, guys, to the Extra Medium Show. Let's get right into it.
Attention, you are now listening to the Extra Medium Show with your hosts, Alex and Corey.
All right, man. I think we're close. We're closer to the zombie apocalypse than we've ever been.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. It's crossed my mind a few times in the last year or so during all this mess.
Yeah, it's hard not to have it cross your mind.
Yeah, but
especially with the vaccines going out.
Yeah, dude.
Faster than ever now.
Yeah.
This is like how a lot of zombie movies start. There's somebody gets a cough, and then slowly and surely, and then they're lining people up, and then that's that.
What do you think your chances are of survival in a thing?
Well, it depends. In everybody's zombie apocalypse scenario, they survive everything. They're forming groups and tribes and run. But realistically, someone's going to be the guy standing in line at the grocery store, and person behind them just walks and bites their neck, and that's it. That's going to be the majority of people. Plus, who's going to kill the first zombie?
I don't know, because in most movies, they have, like, no idea what a zombie is. In most movies. Like, if I honestly saw someone with their mouth all bleeding.
Hey, man, we live in Akron, and I've seen a lot of people that
fit that definition.
That's true. That's a valid point.
And you have to wait for it to start attacking you, because, I mean, obviously, once people start killing zombies, then everybody's aware of what's going on.
Right.
But for the first wave of zombies taking people out,
you're going to have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. You got to be ready to kill somebody, because most likely you're going to think it's a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, just high on something.
Well, do you remember that guy down in, like, Florida who was, like, biting the guy's face off, and the cop had to shoot him, and he wouldn't die?
Yeah, he was high on bath salts or something like that.
Yeah.
I used to work with a guy who was addicted to bath salts.
Jesus.
Yeah, he told me one night his wife was at home. He pulled all the furniture out from his living room, and it was hardwood floors. He took a nail and started cleaning the cracks in it, and then moved all the furniture back in the living room by the time she got home in the morning.
Wow.
You know, sometimes you gotta do that to get the house clean. You know, I hate cleaning,
but I think the initial panic of zombie movies is my favorite part of the movie. Like in Zombieland, at the very beginning, they don't know what's going on, and it's
where the chick comes into his apartment, and he's trying to get with her, and she just freaks out.
Yeah. And then he goes outside, and everybody's running around, scrambling. Cars are crashing into each other, and that's my favorite part, the mass chaos. Because after a while, it becomes less about surviving against the zombies, because the people who can survive against the zombies figure out how to survive, and then it becomes people versus people most of the time.
Yeah. People aren't very nice, especially in like survival situations.
When their back's against the wall, you can't really depend on most people.
Yeah, I mean, we're animals though, and then at the end of the day, when it comes down to survival, you're gonna try and survive.
You know, you're gonna take care of your family and all that before anyone.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What type of zombie is ideal from what kind of movie?
The zombie from Shaun of the Dead. Yeah,
because they're all goofy
and slow.
That would be your ideal.
100%. I'm a brute force kind of guy. I'm not a swift guy.
That's why I like the zombies in World War Z. Those zombies are they just go full speed.
They don't care if they fly off a building or nothing, you know?
Yeah, they climb the wall of Jerusalem no time flat.
We would all be pretty screwed
if those were the zombies. Get through a wooden fence.
But I mean,
I'm confident in myself. I'm
Get
gonna be
out
honest.
of here. Split the difference. In Zombieland, zombies are like normal people running, and you couldn't even survive that, because the number one rule of Zombieland goes against everything you stand for.
What's that?
Cardio.
Turn to meat. It's because of my list of rules. Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland: cardio.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
I can't say that I would be good in that situation.
I'm 80% sure I would do well.
I don't have to be fast. I just have to be faster than you guys.
Yeah, but okay, but I am deceivingly fast.
For a short stint.
Hey, that's all.
That's
you
all
need.
that matters.
That's all you need.
That's all that matters until Shaman's gone. And then it's between me
I
and
can't
you.
say that you're wrong on that one.
I just got to make sure I get into a house or something.
You gotta make it to a door of some sort. Fence.
Now you start giving me like die or run, I'll run. I'll do it. I'm confident. This heart might not handle it, but the brain will try to. I don't know. What do you think you could outrun most zombies?
If that's what I'm saying though, if zombies are World War Z zombies, that's tough because they just go reckless abandon, bam, right
Full
at you.
adrenaline.
Yeah, just no regard for themselves, which a zombie wouldn't realistically. But
Yeah.
they're almost like superhuman in that.
What I've always wondered is who determines who becomes a zombie or who becomes just a person that you eat, that the zombies eat. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it depends how much the zombies eat you before you turn fully into a zombie.
Well, in certain cases, like there's zombies who are half eaten and are just surviving because
That's
of
true.
the virus.
That's true. That's true. I've always wondered that though, because you have people laying on the ground.
Yeah, if you get bit and get away, you turn into a zombie. If you get attacked by a horde of zombies, you probably get eaten and just die.
Would you be the guy who got bit and doesn't say anything?
Probably.
Really?
I would like to think I wouldn't, but you want to you want to extend
You
that.
want to have that last glimpse of hope that it's not you.
Yeah.
Or try to cut your arm off or something like Walking Dead style.
I can understand that, but I don't know.
If it came to a certain point, I'd probably like put a bullet in me. I'd
Jeez.
tell the group.
How would you say it?
I'm like, yo, I fucked up.
That's crazy.
I mean, at that point, like you're sweating, you got the
That's me on a
eyes.
normal night, bro.
So what's the best zombie movie? For me, it's Dawn of the Dead. I think
yeah.
all things considered,
That's a
I
classic.
mean, it checks the boxes.
it has some funny parts, some comedy. It has some intense, some gross, the zombies seem pretty realistic in it. There's a zombie baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that didn't say anything,
Oh yeah, I mean he should have shot the woman a long time ago.
But would you shoot your woman?
Sorry, yes I would. If you're listening out there, she would shoot me though.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's the responsible thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other thing that makes me mad in a ton of zombie movies and TV shows is the amount of people that have sex and get pregnant during the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
the most irresponsible thing you could ever do.
You're not helping anybody because
No.
the baby's gonna cry. The baby's gonna need shit.
You're missing
That's
out.
rude to everybody else. That's putting everybody else at risk.
Shaman, you're gonna give up getting that
No, but if she
snooky,
says I'm pregnant, I'm gonna punch her in the stomach.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
Like, let's be real. At that point,
The authorities will be here shortly.
it's
No, you don't put yourself in that situation.
Exactly.
First of all, condoms are free in the apocalypse. You just walk into a store and take them. Second of all, who can relax? I mean, I guess eventually, if you establish communities and whatnot, but
You don't have to be relaxed.
I mean, you can be stressed out and need stress relief. Bam, it happens.
this
but
took a wild turn.
I'm just saying, I'm not gonna attest to.
But in Dawn of the Dead, she's already pregnant when the apocalypse. Because
Yeah.
that movie's pretty much the beginning
yeah,
of
but
the
that's poor
apocalypse.
planning.
Which is why it's. one of my
also
favorite-
poor
Wow.
planning. It's like she didn't plan for the zombie apocalypse.
Well,
Yeah.
you should always assume.
I think though in that movie he kept her alive maybe because he didn't know that the baby would be a zombie. I mean,
That's true. I think so. He was that took a turn when the old lady like found him and the baby.
yeah,
Like I thought maybe he went crazy.
gotta shoot
He
the
went
baby.
full-fledged crazy.
yeah.
Hey, I mean, would you shoot a baby?
A zombie baby? Yeah.
A zombie?
Yeah,
baby?
no question. If you're a zombie.
Well, we
you're
already
getting shot.
established you, Shaman, where you stand on all of this shit. So,
I keep it real.
It
gee,
is. Keep something real. No, I would say
psychopath.
a top tier zombie movie. Scooby-Doo, Zombie Island. I have to say it.
You let me down every time when you come out with these.
I agree with him.
No.
It's a staple zombie movie.
It scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. There's one scene where it's a ghost of a pirate, and they're recording like a news interview in the kitchen, and you can see the ghost on the recording. Man, it got me good. That might be a cause of some of the anxiety I carry around with me.
It's a zombie ghost, or it's
Well, he's a ghost in that instance, but he does become a zombie later in the movie.
That's okay.
I mean, the Scooby-Doo.
I mean, it's made for kids, but there's some parts in it that will get you.
I don't think so.
There's a love scene. I'm just kidding.
You had me. I was like, wait a minute. No, we're not.
No.
I did rock the Scooby-Doo shirt
See,
today.
you respect
but,
it. No, it's good because it has like the Scooby-Doo movies. I don't think ever have people dressed as the monsters. They're like real monsters. Like they're the real deal. There's a curse, and
That's one of the few things that is actually real that they can't solve.
they're like cat people. That's
Well,
good.
As far as realistic zombie movies, then, what is your favorite zombie movie? Because
I really like World War Z.
Yeah, that's
I
one of
think-
the better, newer
And
zombie
I don't even
movies,
know
in my opinion.
Well, I guess they are zombies. You look at right? They're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
what in that situation though, like very few people were living, like military, and because
Yeah, everybody got taken
But
out.
I like that because I've always, and there might be one out there that I'm missing. There's a lot of movies that I'm not going to talk about that are great movies.
Yeah.
But
I mean the originals, like all of
Yeah.
the old stuff, Night of the
Yeah.
Living Dead, all that stuff.
But I've never seen a movie where it follows like military guys. Like, what's the army gonna do when there's a zombie thing?
Yeah.
You know what I
Everything
mean?
portrays the army as getting wiped out first.
Right,
There's no
right.
army
And there's
left.
just like
Everyone, there's a couple stragglers
Yeah.
out there that they
like
find.
let's be real. Like, if you have an army compound,
Yeah.
no zombies are getting in there.
Well, but
because
all it takes is one, though.
Right.
All it takes is one
Right.
guy in there to get bit.
You,
And
you
then-
don't think if they know about
I
it?
do think.
Okay,
Yeah.
if they know about the zombie apocalypse happen, everybody's gonna be carrying a gun.
Yeah.
Somebody bum rushes you, you're shooting them
shaming,
on
bro.
an instant.
What about when we're playing DayZ, bro? You know?
You guys freeze up.
Yeah. See, it can happen real quick, and then you're gonna
Can't
get the
count on you
guys.
guys at all.
You're gonna get the guys who get bit and then don't say anything, and then they're all eating like food
Because
later in the day.
I would be working in a guy like me would be working in the military compound. He would get bit, and I would try and extend. No, man, I'm gonna get out of this.
But-
and I would go in the military compound, turn, bite somebody.
But
Yep.
like I said,
Bam.
at a certain point, there's a thing where and people around you should be able to tell that you've been infected. You have the sweats, you got the the tired
Yeah.
look,
Yes,
you're
realistically,
strung out.
and that's a good point. I would like to see a movie that does follow like there's a military outpost, and they're the last ones that serve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. Or even like a group of like Navy SEALs or something, something cool. But World War Z kind of does that because he goes to Korea and he's on the airfield, and that's pretty cool. And I really think a lot of that is how it would really
Play out.
happen. Yeah, play out, because they send the scientists out to figure out if they can figure out what the disease is. And
Yeah, you almost have to go to a secluded place, I think.
yeah.
Which I love the movie I Am Legend,
Yeah.
but I
Now,
don't understand.
Are they zombies?
Yeah, they're
I
are
don't
they
think they're dead.
mutations?
I don't
or-
think they're dead.
I consider them zombies, though.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
probably the pure definition of a zombie. They're probably not.
no longer human.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're no longer.
To me,
yeah.
they're a mutation,
Yeah,
which is definition of a zombie. Like, because
they're not free thinking. They're Yeah.
Yeah, they go off of their basic instinct. I have to eat. I have to, survive.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't understand in that. Like, why doesn't he leave the city?
He says he's trying to find the cure because he feels guilty that is,
That's right.
I don't
But
wanna
he
say
can
it.
find a cure anywhere.
Yeah.
But did he know if there was anywhere to go?
No, but you.
But
go
he's
to, like,
perfectly capable,
a
obviously.
barn in Pennsylvania. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could leave.
you might see one zombie a year at that point.
But
But he's in New
he
York
also
City.
needs the zombies to do the tests on.
But you'd be able to find enough.
Yeah.
He-
If you're in the middle of nowhere, go to the closest town.
And I
which
think
is-
that's the move. Is if like today you go to, we leave and you go to the grocery store and you see zombies biting people.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go?
Zanesville.
What?
What?
Zanesville. Completely.
Have you ever been to Zanesville?
Yeah.
I went to Zanesville last year.
Like in between houses at some point? It's like a mile down the road.
No, man.
I stayed in a tiny home in Zanesville.
Yeah, exactly. Like
That's outside of the city of Zanesville, but
They have a Kohl's.
exactly.
That's
Like
a
you
big-
still have shopping centers.
I
and
think
stuff like that.
there's more remote places you go. I think ideally I would try and find an island, but you would get messed up trying to.
Get to the island.
No, you would want to get your family, and then you got to get so and so, and you're trying to go here, and then somebody slows you up, and then
Yeah. I don't know. I would go. I mean, I luck out because I'm such an outdoorsman.
I went on a hike with Alex once. He lasted like 35 minutes.
There was a lot of elevation changes.
Well, that's kind of what hiking is.
No, but
Somebody pulled him right out of a Sears catalog. Should have saw it.
you have decisions to make when you're figuring out where to go. Okay, you go to a grocery store, obviously you get more food, but a lot of people are thinking that. Or you could go to like a Bass Pro Shop or something that sells guns. I don't know.
See, I think at that point it's too late, man.
Yeah.
So that's when all the people we make fun of, all the preppers and all those crazy people,
Mm-hmm.
that's when they come in and they laugh at everybody because,
There's a prepper I work with.
really?
Well, he works at one of the stores I go to.
Wow.
And he has a bug out bag in his car, and it's like 3 days rations with water and food and everything. He always carries around a flint stick on his belt with a pocket knife. And he told me about a stockpile at home. He's also learning Morse code.
People
And
probably
can do the ham radio stuff.
People probably laugh at him,
Yeah.
but then when shit
He's
goes
gonna be
down,
the one that survives. Like, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. And he was also a nurse, so he knows all that shit too.
yeah.
I was in Boy Scouts, so I know. How
So
to make
was
a
I.
splint.
I was a weeblo. I left. One
I don't
time
know
we
what that
went
means.
camping, my grandpa and I, and it was so cold in the cabin that we just slept in the car. So I don't really consider myself a Boy Scout. And then the next morning when we were all eating breakfast, one of the kids in my troop was like, I heard someone slept in the car last night. I was like, what a bunch of pussies. So I don't rep that title, but I would probably go.
The people who are gonna survive initially, though, are the people with weapons and the people with food,
Yeah.
and you got to let that
Which
whole
is kind of
first
scary
wave.
because those are the types of people like later on in the apocalypse that you're gonna try to avoid.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know.
they're the type to,
Yeah, after the first wave or two, only the strong are gonna be left.
yeah.
So zombies aren't gonna be the main concern. Like
The
I said.
people who need protecting are going to be the ones, working, and the people who are the strong ones who are prepared, who has the guns, the ones who are going to be in control, pretty much.
Yeah, and to be allowed into a colony, you have to have a skill. And I don't know if I'm qualified for anything.
You could lie for a little bit.
I'm an electrician. I don't know what I would say.
Last a week, and then just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
I could sell you some beer or something.
I would probably lie and say that I'm like a
Handyman.
navigator or something that
I mean, I
think I could extend for a while.
I
and
can
then
always
maybe
figure
learn
out what
map
way's
maker.
north.
Well,
Oh, I took a class at Akron U for to make maps,
Yeah.
so I can do that.
Seems like.
You can study rocks. Know the
I was
trail.
also a geology major at Akron U, so I could tell you what rocks we're standing on. But I have to lick them. That was one of the tests. But no, I just rewatched Dawn of the Dead a few days ago just to get it fresh in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
The mall idea wasn't that bad,
Yeah.
Once
you could, any position that you can secure for
a length of time.
Yeah.
And you can secure multiple areas because of the
Exits,
stores,
and stuff like
exits,
that, yeah.
and every store.
But it falls
has a good-
apart on them pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I don't,
you have multiple stores with food.
would
you know,
you
defenses, stuff like that. So
now both of you have family that live sort of far-ish away from you guys. Would you try to get to them?
I would like to think I would, but realistically,
It'd be hard
it would be tough to.
because the highways would be screwed up.
I mean,
you wouldn't be able to get through anything.
they're probably on my way to where I would be going anyway. So
What's the address of where you're going? So I know.
that's confidential.
Is it a bunker?
I may or may not have a
If
bunker.
if I was like a millionaire, I'd build a bunker. I don't see why not.
Yeah, if you got millions of dollars, you can have a fucking fallout shelter on
Right.
your property,
Right.
For $20 million.
That's
that you can
that's
survive.
that's
Have you ever seen Doomsday Preppers? Those
Yes.
people don't seem like they have $20 million.
Yeah, but they also don't have 10 levels of floors.
I'm trying to
They
have a bunker
one.
like
Do
a
you-
blast from the past.
Do you think sustaining a colony like in Walking Dead is would that even be realistic?
Yes, at a certain point.
It does take
right
them a
after-
long
yeah,
time, I
right
guess.
after, no.
There's going to be a lot of bad people. So I don't know. And then it's like what you're saying with the military thing. Like, once one person gets bit, it's really hard not to start a problem.
Yeah, I would say you'd have to limit it
Yeah.
to a certain number of people. I'd say max at the very most 12.
Oh, that's not
12
enough.
people?
Yeah. Close friends
Yeah.
and family.
No, it would get out of control. You'd start feeling bad for people. You'd come across people.
Nope.
It would grow. Yeah, it would.
Not me. Honestly, I shoot
You would-
before I even get to them.
You're already dead in this scenario anyway. So
I'm like, I see somebody walking up to me. I don't know him. Shoot him from a distance. Then I don't have to talk to him. Don't have to feel sorry for him.
that was gonna be my next question. Is that's what The Walking Dead brings up is after the whole zombie, we get past the shock of that there's zombies. It turns into, are you willing to kill another person? And we already established Shaman as a psychopath.
He's willing to kill a fucking baby.
He's killing babies
It's
and everything
me
else.
or them. Like, let's be
No,
honest.
not in the scenario
Yeah.
you just described. That's just ruthless killing.
You don't think they're thinking the same thing that
Not
I was thinking?
necessarily. Not
They-
necessarily.
They're walking up to a complete stranger with a gun. They're not gonna,
Well, did you say they had a gun in the first thing?
How do you know? He said he sees him in the distance. He's just shooting.
Okay, if I can shoot
There's
from
so
that
many
distance, I can
parallels
see him from that distance.
To video games, playing with Shaman
Yeah.
right now is how he would actually act, and it's scary.
But I'm asking you,
What?
would you be willing to just kill people?
How?
Well, in the Walking Dead scenario, you're looking for food,
Well,
whatever.
do I have
you
to
come
like
across the
stab
person.
him, or can I shoot him?
Well, you don't have a gun.
In both scenarios, would
So-
you shoot him?
Yeah.
Now, if you got into a fist fight, would you stab him?
Yeah.
Fighting over some food. So, same thing.
Do
right?
I look like?
But
I
that's
don't
not
take
the
my-
same thing.
No.
How is it not?
Because there's a chance you come across a person and you both look at each other and say, "Hey,
I mean,
we're not a threat to each other. Let's just walk
gives,
away."
If he
or,
gives
"Hey,
me
come
the
with me, I can help
No.
you." There would still be good people in the
No.
world.
if he gives me the upwards head nod, I'm not killing him.
You guys
No.
are
But
the
if he
same.
goes downwards,
If he stays his distance, I have no problem. But if he's within me seeing him without a scope of any sort,
a scope, where are you getting a gun with a scope?
take it off the dead body.
What dead body?
There's going to be hundreds of.
This isn't a video game. We're talking real
Okay.
life. If this shit went down today, we leave the house. Who do you know that has an AR with a scope? I mean, there are obviously people know, and people that I know have that kind of stuff, but you don't, and I don't. So that's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
know
what
where
do
to
you
get
do?
one.
What do you have? A kitchen knife?
All right, listen to me. This is what I'm doing. If I see a guy walking at me in the distance, I'm gonna first ocular pat down.
You guys are insane.
No,
Jesus
listen to me.
Christ.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I'm trying to ask you a serious question.
I'm telling
guys are
you what I would.
bullshitting.
No, I would assess the threat, because you can sometimes tell, at the very least, a person's intentions. I don't think I could just fucking kill him though.
I don't think so either. And I probably wouldn't make it very long in the zombie world.
But then again, once I kill one person, I could change. My eyes could glaze over.
And that is what
You know?
tends to happen in zombie movies and zombie shows is everybody starts off innocent. They all show their first kill and they're all kind of shook from it. And then by the end of the movie or the end of the thing, they're just blowing people away, just heartless, without thought.
I mean, I think I'd kill someone. Why not?
Let's cut that. That's our next promo.
Now, have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead? That's probably one of my.
It's basically a parody, though.
Yeah, that's probably top 5 for me. I mean, it's not like there's a whole long list, but it's a parody, but it's better than most.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
You know, there's a scene I always think about from the movie is when they first like discover the zombies. They're in the backyard, and the one guy throws a record at the zombie, and then he goes and grabs the rest of his records, and just the dialogue between the two when they're picking which albums to throw, which ones to keep. It's, I don't know, quick little tidbit that meant nothing, but
I know what you're talking about. What scene you're talking about? It is a funny movie, but it's not top 5 for me at all.
would you rather have one that focuses more on survival or one that focuses more on like
Killing the zombies.
killing, like carnage? A movie.
I like the ones that focus more on survival and make you think about like moral decisions that we don't have to think about now because, I mean, like I just said, you have to consider killing people, maybe possibly innocent people,
You've never thought
to
about
survive. What?
that? You've never thought about that?
Killing innocent people? No, I haven't thought about that.
No, not like in a mean way, but just like, what if?
I mean, everybody has crazy thoughts, but that's not
I'd do
not
it
what I'm talking about.
if it was in a zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I keep saying I'll do it, and then I'll be the first one to freeze up.
Yeah. Well, we already established rule number 1 of Zombieland.
You keep coming back to that, and I'm going to keep sticking to
Cardio.
my story. I am built like a hippopotamus, but I have the muscle mass of a cheetah.
Stamina. It's
Yeah,
all about stamina.
I got it.
I don't think so. I've seen you run.
I can hold my breath for over 30 seconds. So, I don't know what to say about that, but I got it. What do you think shit. What do you think the worst city in America would be?
Any populated, like the more densely populated the city, the worse.
Yeah, I'd have
it
to.
would be.
I'd have to say
So-
like Los Angeles or New York City.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
What would you do if you were in one of those cities? Would you,
I think I would try and
like, if you were in New York, would you try to stay in your apartment?
I would try and stay inside as long as possible and
Yes.
let as many people get.
Have
Out-
it clear out.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
I would try and stay where I was for as long as I
yourself
could.
in, last as long as you can with the food and stuff you have.
I mean, you can't take
And
it to
then
the
you
very end though. Like,
Yeah.
don't eat all your food and then go out.
Yeah.
Because then you're desperate.
Right.
Take a little food with you.
Yeah,
Right.
Enough for a backpack, very light, travel light. Have a couple bottles of water just in case you got to survive on that.
But
for-
movie wise, I mean, inner city zombie shit going down is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. What, no, it just left what I was about to say. What, when COVID started back last year, did you prep when everyone was going crazy?
No, not really. I mean,
No, people
I have
took
what I
that
have.
really, like they bought everything besides what they actually needed.
I prep, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I bought like a thing of toilet paper.
Oh, I bought 6 toilet papers.
I think it comes down to weapons at the end of the day.
I mean,
Because
then you can just
there's
rob somebody.
Bill Burr has a bit about it, and if you can stockpile all the shit you want, but if you don't have a way to protect it, you're just stockpiling it for the bigger, stronger guy who's going to come take all your stuff.
that's true.
So it comes down to,
That's a valid point.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We got a lot of like canned foods and stuff, and it's still down. We never even opened it. It's still sitting there. I think once it happens, like what you said, it's gonna be too late. But then again, you don't want to be the crazy person that's like having stockpiles of food. You know what I won't do if I'm like stuck inside of somewhere during the apocalypse?
What's that?
Watch Singing in the Rain again.
Well, that gets us into our next segment, the countdown.
Yeah, not a huge fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start off with that.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I thought it was a long watch. And I'm not a fan of musicals necessarily. The actual storyline and everything I thought was pretty good.
Yeah, I get it. It just seemed to, like they were and rightfully so, they were putting on a show too much for me. And I mean, that's the whole point of
Well,
the
it's a
musical.
Showtimey kind of movie.
I just wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah.
And I respect it for what it is. It just wasn't my vibe.
I could have done it if the songs were appropriately timed. Like
too long.
they could have been 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And instead, each song, there were 3-minute, 4-minute songs on there,
Yeah.
and it's just exhausting after a while.
Now, don't get me wrong, because I'm not a hater of musicals. There's a lot I like. Grease, fantastic musical.
I don't think Grease holds up.
Grease definitely holds up, especially if you look into the second meaning of it, where it's a story of Sandy ascending into heaven. And she drowned at the beach. I mean,
I guess so, but it also in Grease, Sandy completely changes who she is for a guy and turns into a worse person than she is at the beginning.
I mean, hey, players got to play. You know what I'm saying?
It is very similar to Grease in that Singing in the Rain is a movie made in the 50s about the 20s.
Yeah.
Grease is a movie made in the 70s about the 50s.
Right.
So it felt very similar.
Yeah.
The acting was a little over the top, but I thought aside from the long musicals, I was entertained by the dialogue and where the story took me. I thought that Donald O'Connor, who played Cosmo Brown, kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
He had some. It was funnier than I thought it would be.
He was like the perfect amount of like comedic relief, but
Yeah,
also he centered everyone. You know what I mean?
He was over the top, but
yeah, the characters were good. I think it is just the songs that really drew me away from it, but I didn't like the fact that the main dude was 20 years older than his love interest, which seemed weird.
I mean, it was appropriate for the time period. I'm assuming in the 50s that.
Yeah. Well, the movie itself
it's common
is
now. Who are we kidding? It's common now.
The movie itself was kind of sexist because there was a couple songs where talking about the lyrics were talking about like the perfect woman, or
Yeah, and one of the things about her was that she just turned 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
sketch.
I
But I
mean,
get it. I get
Back
it.
in the day, I think my grandma got married when she was like 16.
Hey,
So,
so
I mean-
YOLO. There's a girl we went to high school with. She got married in high school.
Wow,
Yeah. Hey, whatever vibes you
that's
you want.
irresponsible.
But
But overall, I probably wouldn't watch Singing in the Rain again.
I don't think I
I'm
think it
glad.
was a one and
I'm
done.
glad I can say. I'm glad I watched it, so I can say I wouldn't watch it again.
I agree. Yeah. It's another notch off the belt. Yeah, I don't what would you rate it?
Am I rating it on a scale of movies or musicals?
Let's do movies cuz it's a movies list.
Overall movie 4.6.
I'm gonna give it a. Let's do 4.8.
Ooh.
It gets.
See, I thought I liked it more than you, and then you come out like that.
It's not that I liked it. I'm giving it points out of respect
Yeah.
for what it is as a movie. You know. But I also heard
That's
that,
why I gave it what I gave it. And it's still lower than yours.
What was the name of the main guy?
Don. His real name.
Yeah, his real name.
His real name is Gene Kelly.
Kelly.
Yeah.
I heard he was. Well, I didn't hear. Read that he was a complete asshole on set. Like he would make them cry like every day.
I could see it.
He was like a perfectionist, and then he wouldn't even let.
His character was kind of a dick.
Involved. Yeah.
In the movie.
I mean, I think you need to watch it if you've never seen it.
Yeah. Just for context.
A lot of people think it's maybe the best musical. A lot of people considered it one of the best movies ever.
I did like it more than Grease. I think.
That hurts.
I think I can, and I'm a huge. I was a huge fan of Grease, but it doesn't hold up, in my opinion. But
the only thing I can't get through anymore in Grease is the fact that every single character looks like they're 45 years old, and they're in high school.
Yeah.
But that's nitpicking.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I'd say watch it. That'll probably be the last time you watch it, but it's something to do, I guess. But
yeah.
All right, that's gonna you think bring us into the third segment?
Yeah, sure. Take us into the third segment. What did you watch?
All right. Bang.
Tell you what I watched. The Truman Show.
Okay, with Jim Carrey.
Yes. Right? Love that movie. But what made me think of it was Crazy Person. And there's a good stretch of the movie where he thinks he's going crazy. Have you seen it before, The Truman Show?
Yeah, it's a great movie.
A long time ago.
The premise, he, since birth, a TV company takes him and films him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Okay.
So the entire world watches him grow up, his first steps, everything. They build a world for him. And everybody in his world is an actor. Everything is set up. And it goes on for 30 years. Jesus. And then he finally starts figuring things out.
Does he see like a camera or something?
Doesn't something fall from the sky?
Well, so they put him in a town that's on like an island.
Okay.
And they give him, and when he's a kid, they make his dad drown. So he has a fear of water, so he's scared to leave the island. And then, he falls in love with a girl, but not the girl that they want him to fall in love with. And then later on, his dad is playing an extra, and he runs into him and sees him. He starts going crazy, and then he eventually, he sees a backstage area, and he starts going crazy. And it's an excellent, excellent movie. There's no movie premise besides. After that, there was one that came out that tried to be like it, kind of, but it was a little different premise.
Now, how legal would that actually be?
Super illegal, and that's what I was thinking about too. Like at the end,
that would be like imprisonment.
But in the end, he's on the boat trying to get out, and he is making the waves and so. Like, at what point do the police step in and say, "Dude, you're killing this guy"? Well,
that's attempted murder right there,
and kidnapping, and I don't. Yeah. From a legal standpoint.
Where's the island at?
It's all built in this giant dome.
Yeah, it's like one of studio almost.
If it's in international waters, there's nothing they can do.
No, it's in California, Los Angeles.
Okay.
It's they show an overhead view, and it's in California.
Okay.
But it's pretty wild.
When I watched that last, I was like, "This is completely illegal."
I'm usually not.
It's a crazy premise.
Jim Carrey fan. I'm not. It's really disappointing.
I love a lot of Jim Carrey since I was a little kid. The Mask.
No, I really like Dumb and Dumber.
Ace Ventura.
Cable Guy's pretty good. That's him, right?
Yeah,
he has some
he does serious
classic
movies too.
But there's some newer movies that I would have to say weren't his best.
I really enjoyed him playing Joe Biden on Saturday Night Live during the election.
I think all around I think he's good.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
Yeah,
comedian.
He kind of went to go do his own thing not too long ago because his like girlfriend died or something like that, right?
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think so.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
But he's come back recently. That new Sonic movie helped because he had a
he's
very
the
big
bad
put
guy
into
in
that.
that,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
That was a very
I
good-
like him in serious and funny
Yeah.
movies though. Bruce Almighty, it's great.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
All right.
he has a lot of movies. When you start
I'll backtrack.
when you start
and
naming
say,
his movies,
I won't say I dislike him. I just some of the movies I like, some of them I don't. So just like any other actor, I'll say that.
wow.
Give him his credit. At least
I ask
a little
you,
bit better.
sir, what did you watch?
Dana and I have been watching a show, an old show. It's from like 2004 on Netflix. It's called Jericho. Have you ever seen that?
good show.
Yeah, and it kind of has to deal with what we were talking about today.
Yeah.
But it's a town in Kansas that survives America having, I think, 12 nuclear bombs detonated in it. And they happen to be okay because it's like almost in the middle of the U.S. and the fallout from all the bombs with the wind patterns, it doesn't go over them. And it's just like a small town, but it has to deal with like there's the main guy's dad is the mayor, but there's a rival guy running for mayor, and just like the first few episodes are just about surviving that, figuring stuff out, but then the bad people start coming, and like there's people trying to extort them for stuff and steal stuff, and they have to learn to defend themselves, and it's good. Right now, I don't even know where we're at, but you're starting to figure out a lot of the mysteries at the beginning of the season. I think we're still in the first season.
I have to break it. Doesn't it get canceled?
It did.
So
did.
you're kind
So-
of leading down a path to nowhere. I don't
Yeah.
think there's an ending to it.
I don't think so either.
So you're about to be severely disappointed.
I read something that when they canceled it, a whole lot of people complained to whoever had them, and they kept sending them nuts as like a protest, like boxes of nuts.
It's weird.
Yeah. Well, it's because someone, I forget who it was. It was like a general in World War II or something, was told he can't do something. So he was like, "Oh, nuts," and said it. And they were doing it because of that. But they let them at least film a conclusion. So I think there might be an ending, but not what they envisioned, I don't think.
There's a few shows that I've seen that get canceled too soon. Have you ever seen the show Life on Mars?
No.
It was a show I was into, and then it got canceled, and then they did wrap it up and make an ending for it at least. But it always sucks when a show gets canceled that you think is good. But
What sucks more, though?
like you want to watch you want to be the guy who watches shows that other people haven't seen.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, also a lot of times the shows that you watch end up getting canceled because
Yeah.
nobody's watching it. So it's kind of
But what's worse, a show that gets canceled before it should, or a show that lasts longer than it should? You know?
I think a show that lasts longer than it should because then
Yeah.
you can just. Well, I don't
Yeah,
know,
but
man. That's
you
tough.
watch the decline of the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it gets away from what it originally stood for, like the original plot.
Yeah.
I guess then, yeah, shows that got canceled too soon because it left you wanting more, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then
And all
you
the
can talk about it. You can grow your own conclusions to them. You know, you plan
Yeah.
out what you would do. I mean,
Like-
yes, it's a downside that it got canceled,
All-
but it leaves you wanting more.
All the best shows, all the best movies leave you wanting more. And so I guess, yeah, shows that got canceled too soon.
Now-
Leaves it up for debate.
Now let me ask you this very personal question. How do you feel about The Office? Because I would consider and I think a lot of people would consider The Office as one of those shows that,
that went on too long.
yeah.
Maybe one season too long. I thought after Michael Scott left The Office, I mean, we could go into an hour-long debate about this.
Yeah.
But I think after Michael left, I thought it was gonna get real bad, but it didn't. They had a strong enough
I think
cast
it's
that carried it.
when Andy starts not being a nice guy so much is when it starts.
I just think they did a good enough job of getting you invested in so many different characters over such a long period of time that even the main character could leave the show and you're still invested in all these side characters that can still carry it for 2 more seasons. And I thought they did a good job of that and not putting the focus and not trying to necessarily make, I mean, even though I guess then Jim and Pam are the main characters, they don't still put it all on them. Everybody else still has their own storylines going.
Yeah. I agree with all of that. All right, guys, thank you for listening. Make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram and drop a couple likes or comments. Let us know if there's any show ideas you'd like us to talk about. Next week for the countdown, we're going to be talking about Vertigo. Excited about that, but we'll see how that goes. All right, that should do it. Stay safe.